Rejuvenate, be inspired, refresh. Sounds like some realities you want for yourself this year? Then embark this fall on a 15-day all-inclusive Mediterranean cruise of a lifetime with AM 1070 The Answer. Sail the pristine Mediterranean waters with celebrity cruises on the luxurious Silhouette. With thrilling stops in Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, Athens, and more, come experience sights like the magnificent Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall of Jerusalem, the beautiful Greek island of Santorini, and more. This is not just a cruise. You will follow in the footsteps of key historical figures and be engrossed in the sights and sounds of the societies that establish what we experience today in government, culture, and faith. Come and visit the extraordinary cities of antiquity, 2,800-year-old ports, and more on a journey with the interactive vibrancy of faith and culture. Board the footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise September the 22nd through October 9th. For more information and to register for this once-in-a-lifetime trip, go to am1070theanswer.com.
AM 1070, The Answer.
Welcome to Lone Star Vets with Rob Paiva, United States Navy veteran and program manager for the Lone Star Veterans Association in Houston. Lone Star Vets is a program by vets for vets and about empowering veterans for a successful post-military life. Call in today at 866-357-1070. That's 866-357-1070. Now let's join Rob.
Well, welcome back to the Lone Star Vet Show. This is your host, Rob Paiva, United States Navy veteran and program manager for our local veteran service organization, Lone Star Veterans Association. Here in Houston, Texas, we're coming to you on this Happy Father's Day Sunday, June 19th. So for those of you all listening, I appreciate taking the time to tune us in. And for all the fathers out there, especially for our veterans out there that are fathers, and that makes a great many of those that have served. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. I hope your weekend has been just a wonderful day and weekend of rest and activity and fun and frolicking with the kids, what have you. So in any event, we're going to recognize fathers continually throughout the show. Our special guest today is an Air Force veteran. He's a father himself. In fact, we had a phone conversation scheduled for 5:30. He sent me a text. He says, "Hey, I'm walking my kid back from the swimming pool. If you don't mind me calling you in about 5 minutes." And I said, "Oh, not a problem." Clearly on Father's Day, you can't deny a father his right to be able to spend time with his children. And that guest we're going to be having on. He's a very interesting, very high-energy go-getter out there with a new startup. We're going to talk about it here towards the end of the segment, but his name is Bart Lamont. He's out of Dallas, Texas, and when you guys hear what they're doing with this new service, there's a lot to take note into, and so we're really excited to have Bart on the show, and very pleased that he was able to comply on such a special day as Father's Day. Now, before we get started, I want to take a moment and recognize a special percentage of our community, and those are the good folks that are in our community that have lost their father during service. Especially in the last 15 years, that was a higher number than we typically have because of the global war on terror. So if you allow me just for a moment, I want to read just a small, short little poem. And it's called "Dad Died Serving Our Country." Why was it really meant to be? Dad did die serving his country. Me and my family are left alone each day when the sun had shone. I am still so lonely each night, and sad tears off I have to fight. Never receiving one last kiss, him forever I'll always miss. It's now another Veterans Day and Father's Day again. My dad was one of many mighty men who for our country had given his all, and for him one day God did call. So for those of you that are listening to the show that had a father that served and unfortunately did not make it home, a special thought and prayers go out to all of you, and we hope that that days like this can bring peace and joy in some context to you all, and our special consideration to each and every one of you. Okay, now on to the next thing. This has been we are right in the middle of summer, and typically what that means in the veteran community is that there's a lot of activity going on outdoors. And I think if you guys remember, for those that were listening in last Sunday, we had a fantastic couple of gentlemen in here with us. We talked about both their business, but we also talked about an event and a program that they're involved in that they believe in very dearly, and they volunteer their time, efforts, and quite a lot of energy, and that's into the Adaptive Aquatics program down in Galveston, Texas. One of the many outdoor activities that are going on, and they're looking to raise or to hold a big fundraising event in September. We'll be bringing you more information. The website wasn't up. As soon as we get all that information and everything is up and rock and rolling, we'll get that out to you. We'll get it out to you via the Lone Star Veterans Association website. We'll get it out through social media. So just stay tuned, and we hope that you guys can help out, participate, volunteer, enjoy. Some of you maybe even possibly support. But these are the many things that we have going on. We're now getting into the time where golf tournaments are big, and clay shoots. And let me tell you what, for veterans, we can never get enough golf or clay shooting. So if you are out there and your organization is looking to do something, and you're looking for a local veterans organization to support, take a look at the Lone Star Veterans Association and do your research. Get into the nitty-gritties. I think what you'll find is a lot of other corporations, companies, and organizations have found is that Lone Star Veterans Association definitely puts its money where its mouth is. I don't have the information right in front of me at the moment, but I do know that it's over 80% of donations come in, all go to programming. It's a very small percentage that goes to supporting the organization. And there's 5 paid staff to facilitate everything that goes on, both not just here in Houston, but around the state. We've got events coming up in in this month in Austin, Texas. We've got a number of things going on around in the greater Houston area, and we occasionally do some things in San Antonio and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We've got Beaumont that has a group that meets socially once a month or once every other month. We've got Laredo and El Paso and the Rio Grande Valley that have reached out to us. So it's a lot of activity to cover for a staff of 5. And considering the fact that the bulk of the money goes to the bulk of the donations coming into Lone Star Veterans Association goes to this program, tells you about the character and the principles that this organization has. Courtesy to its founders, its board members, to the leadership and the staff. We're all veterans for the most part, especially on the staff. I think we have one who's not a veteran, but I know her brother is serving currently as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. So if they're not vets, they are very, very close to the military and veteran community. So in any event, that's some of the things that we have coming up. We hope you guys stay tuned. If you want more information, definitely go to www.lonestarveterans.org and go to the events tab. And once you click on that, it'll start to show you the immediate events that are coming up through the month. And you can scroll down and click onto the following pages and see what's going on through the months, going on into July, August, and September. So with that, also, I want to take another moment and revisit again our guests from last weekend. It was Ron Limbeck and Bill Heron with SpeedyFood.net, a great company that's been in business already for 3 years. They've basically taken over the entire Katy area, and now they're expanding through the rest of Houston. Bill came out and joined us this last Thursday for the Warrior for Life luncheon, which was another sold-out event, packed house, and we had a lot of great employers show up, and we had over 40, maybe 45 veterans that were present that were actively looking for work. And Bill came out there and did his pitch with the SpeedyFood.net, and if anything, if they didn't pick up more folks that are interested in drivers, and actually I know that they did, they definitely picked up some customers. And I know they got to talk with the ownership there at Mazeroff's restaurant, Russell Mazeroff, and hopefully got some good opportunities to work with that wonderful restaurant out there. But if you guys haven't taken advantage of it yet, go to their website. It's just exactly what the company's name is, SpeedyFood.net. Enter in your zip code, see if they're delivering to you guys. Remember, it's a service with no minimum. They will pick up any restaurant food that you are craving. So it's not like they have partners that have to be aligned with them. For you guys to be able to order. So if you're tired of ordering just Chinese and pizza because they're the only ones who deliver, give these guys a shot. They've just to give you some of the companies that they serve or some of the restaurants. I mean, you've got Zoe's Kitchen here, you got Taco Grill, you've got Chili's, Applebee's, Old Chicago, Chuck Wagon, Citrus Blue, Dish Society, Faux Katie. So excuse me, I guess that's supposed to be pronounced pho. I'm reading it just as I see it. But anyhow, so you guys give them a call. Or look them up online and order some good food from them. They were great to the crew here last week. They brought in some Zoe's Kitchen unsolicited. They just simply showed up with a bunch of food and said, "Here, this is for the whole crew to enjoy." And well, I had a show to do, and by the time I got out, most of that food was gone. How are those cookies, guys? They're pretty tasty, weren't they? Yeah, I'm getting a big thumbs up. All right, now as we start to wind down this first segment, let me come back and just cover a little bit of who our special guest this week. His name is Bart Lamont. He is a co-founder of a company called Robin. And Robin is a 21st century approach to lawn care services. Now, you may think to yourself, okay, lawn care services, that's a dime a dozen type of industry. I will beg to differ. You guys have got to check this out. First of all, go to their website. Very unique, very professional, very up to date. It's www.tryrobin.com, and TryRobin is one word. I've signed up for service myself for my house. Bart and another gentleman, I'm forgetting right now who joined us, but also works for the company. And told us about this probably about 5 or 6 months ago, and it's a fantastic business and organization. You really got to come check them out. But when we come back, you're going to hear all that information and more with my special guest, Bart Lamont, co-founder Robin, Air Force veteran. We will be back shortly. Thank you.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-936-5496.
It's been called the greatest libertarian show on earth, attended by Donald Trump, Steve Forbes, Glenn Beck, and the most brilliant conservative minds today. It's Freedom Fest, July 13th through the 16th at the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. This year, come hear Senator Rand Paul, author George Gilder, Judge Andrew Napolitano, and more. And don't miss your chance to win $25,000 in prizes organized by Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington. Register now at freedomfest.com and save $100 by using the code SALEM, all caps, at freedomfest.com.
If you're in the market to buy new furniture, whether it be a happy occasion like getting married or buying a new home, or an unexpected occasion like natural disaster, come into any of the 3 Gallery Furniture locations or go to galleryfurniture.com. Buy your furniture today, save lots of money, and Gallery Furniture will provide you with a stress-free experience. Your furniture will be delivered today or whenever you need it. No hassle, lowest price, stress-free furniture experience. Gallery Furniture is here for you.
If you can't afford to lose 30 to 50% of what you have in the next stock market crash, the time to protect yourself is now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
7 p.m. Tuesday, June 28th, Courtyard by Marriott Katy. 7 p.m. Wednesday, June 29th, Hilton Garden Inn, Pearland. 7 p.m. Thursday, June 30th, Hyatt Place, The Woodlands. Or 7 p.m. Thursday, July 7th, Hilton Garden Inn, Sugarland. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Or call 800-994-0302.
Take a moment right now and rate your lifestyle on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is a life of quiet desperation that doesn't resemble what you were promised after getting that college degree and corporate job. Now a 10 is a life that exceeds your wildest expectations of the life they promised you for doing all the right things and working hard. If you answered anything less than 10, stop what you're doing and go to mypassiveincomeworkshop.com. Passive income is not a secret, but chances are no one has ever shared it with you until now. Learn how to generate passive streams of income at our free workshop, mypassiveincomeworkshop.com, so you can live at a 10 for the rest of your life.
Michael Medved wants more class from our elected officials.
You can't control the event. It happened. It's horrible. It's bloody. It's nightmarish. It's evil. It is all those things. But does the response to it have to be so stupid by our most prominent politicians? I mean, does President Obama have to take advantage of this occasion to just rip Donald Trump?
The Michael Medved Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on AM 1070. The Answer.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. This is Rob Pive. I'm your host with Lone Star Vets. We're that 1 hour show every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. here on AM 1070 The Answer. We're all about veterans. We're vets putting on this show, and the topic is you. If you've served our nation in one of the 5 U.S. Armed Forces, either Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, or Coast Guard, and we say even the Coast Guard, we pick on those guys quite a bit, the poor Coasties, but they play a big, important role in our national defense, and so we really don't mean to undermine their service. It's just as important as anybody else's, and but if you've served your nation, this is a show that's definitely for you. Now, I've got my guest on the line. We're getting ready to join us. If you guys heard me in the first segment, I was talking and telling you a little bit about his company, and their company is a brand new approach on an old, what I don't want to say old, but let's just say a very commodity-based service. Hey, Bart, are you on the line with me?
Yes, I'm right here.
All right, fantastic. Good. Hear you loud and clear. All right, so first of all, before we get started, when you came into my office, I don't know, it was middle, I guess late last year. At first I thought, okay, what could this be? And I took a look at the company. I said, well, fantastic website, fantastic service, but let's kind of back up before we jump into this. I love the concept. I love the idea, and I love the fact that my lawn is looking good, and I don't have to really do much to do that. But we'll get into that. Let's talk about you here to get things started off. So you joined the Air Force. Let's talk about how this all began.
Great. Well, thank you, Rob, first of all, and happy Father's Day to you as well.
Well, thank you.
We'll talk a little bit about that beforehand, but no, it's I grew up on a grain farm, corn, soybeans, wheat, your traditional farm in Indiana, where I literally spent my first but close to 22 years. Was actually a freshman at Purdue University during the events of September 11th.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
After that time, ultimately was really, quite honestly, struggling in my classes and was not focused at all because I knew I needed to be somewhere else. And actually, after what would have been my second year there, I totally dropped out of school and enlisted in the Air National Guard, the Air National Guard of the Air Force out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I was based then. And great opportunity there. Started on the enlisted side, actually refueling jets. Was in the POL branch of the base there, where went down, spent a lot of time at Lackland Air Force Base outside of San Antonio, and went through all of my official enlisted schools in Wichita Falls at Shepherd Air Force Base.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But, that was I spent about 4 years enlisted, mainly all in the Air National Guard. Then actually was offered a officer position as I went back and finished up my degree at Purdue. And so still at that time, honestly, all I had ever planned on was going back to my family farm in Indiana. Great business. My father, happy Father's Day to him today if he's listening. Actually, 77 years old, strong as an ox, still running that family business today.
Well, I don't doubt it one bit. knowing how those Midwestern farmers are, they are diehard crews.
That's right. But he had 5 daughters, then finally had me as his son, and so actually my name Bart is short for Bartholomew, which in biblical terms is the son of the plowman.
That's right. Yes.
My future in agriculture was set long before I arrived.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, and then so you've come from this kind of humble, heart of the nation background, and so now you've served in the Air National Guard for 4 years, and you say now you went back to college and you completed that, and you earned a commission and came back in.
Yes. So actually commissioned as a logistics officer.
Okay.
With the 122nd Fighter Wing is the base there in Fort Wayne, and the Logistics Readiness Squadron. And actually then, so, was working on and off in the civilian world. Actually, in the political world, the past 2 governors of Indiana, I had the opportunity to work for on the campaign side, and then also on some state government side as well.
All right. Now, I understand, though, you also did a deployment.
Correct.
Yes.
I'll say one summer vacation in Spain, and then one actual deployment where I'll say I earned my stripes twofold, because I was the one Air Force officer assigned to a team of 63 other Army individuals. So you can imagine there was plenty of hazing and friendly. Inter-service rivalry jokes going on there.
We don't do that, do we? Maybe once or twice. Yeah. So
that's right.
So yeah, you were the lone Air Force survivor, if you will.
That's right. So I don't know if you, around that time, it was 2010, 2011. The provincial reconstruction teams, the PRTs,
right,
were really popular. And then there was a smaller group of agribusiness development teams.
Interesting. Okay.
And they were sourced solely from states that had large agricultural economies. So states like Indiana, Iowa, Texas, all that. So I'm sure some of the listeners out there were probably on some of those ADTs, is what they call them.
Okay. Right. And this was now, where was this? This was in Afghanistan, Iraq?
Correct.
It was in Afghanistan.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
2010, 2011, we were Indiana ultimately sent 5 teams.
Wow.
All back-to-back years consecutively.
Okay.
And that was the whole kind of vision behind these teams, was to actually develop a relationship with the provincial government.
Okay.
So we were in the host province, right on the Pakistani border. It was about an hour and a half flight from Bagram.
Wow. Okay. Now, something interesting happened while you were there. Didn't you make a reach out, or you reached out to a certain president of the United States? And there's a funny twist to this tale, if I remember correctly.
That's correct. Had a feeling you might ask further about that. Most of my friends and family think that's the ultimate reason I deployed or something. I don't know, but so I'm not a big letter writer, or honestly can count on one hand the number of letters I've written, but had felt a calling to sit down and write a letter one particular day. It was around Christmas of 2010. My mother had bought me Decision Points, the book that President George W. Bush, 43, wrote, after his time in office.
Right.
And, I had met him previously before all the deployment and everything, and had a photo taken with him. And I've been a big fan of his for as long as I can remember, and reading that chapter on Afghanistan in particular while I was sitting there, it meant a lot to me to know why I was there, and how, a man with that kind of power and authority did not come lightly to make that decision. And, the consternation and just the firm decision-making process he's had,
right.
I wanted to tell him thank you. And so, lo and behold, I sat down at a picnic table on our farm in Afghanistan and wrote this letter and shipped it off to some P.O. box in Dallas, Texas.
Now, were you really expecting a return reply from the president?
I had heard what another member of our team had been, in contact with someone on, the Military Service Initiative is the group that they've got based now out of the Bush Institute.
Right.
And he had received some correspondence in the past.
Okay, so
he had sent him our newsletter.
Busiest,
so
most powerful man in the world, but he's got time to write back a letter or two every now and then. I've heard that about him.
and exactly. So I said, I don't want much, but if it would be at all possible, could you?
But what a thrill. Now, honey, I've changed my mind. This love is fine.
AM 1070, The Answer.
Hi, this is Sam Malone. Summer, not that far away. Do yourself a favor and think about installing Radiant Barrier Attic Foil to your home. Ultimate Radiant Barrier Attic Foil blocks 97% of the radiant heat. Ultimate Radiant Barrier Attic Foil installation can bring the temperatures in your attic down 30 to 40 degrees. Think about the savings on your energy bill. Think about how less work your AC will have to do this summer. They can also provide you with foam insulation and even solar fans. Ultimate Radiant Barrier Attic Foil installation is the best thing that you can do for your home, for your peace of mind, for your energy bill. There's no need to trap all that heat inside of your house. The owner, Mark, calls back everybody. Phenomenal customer service, years in the business. UltimateRadiantBarrier.com or call 713-805-0394. That's UltimateRadiantBarrier.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote. Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-207-1265. 800-207-1265. 800-207-1265.
There's a reason people keep going to Pasadena Gun Center. They've got it all under one roof. A 25-yard indoor range, great prices on firearms, a full-service gunsmith, and $50 in-house license to carry classes. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. That means ladies shoot free all day, and both machine and handgun rentals are half price for all customers. Ammo purchase required. Pasadena Gun Center, 206 East Shaw in Pasadena. Call 713-472-0417 or check them out online at PasadenaGunCenter.com. Pasadena Gun Center. Why go anywhere else?
Following the terrorist attack in Orlando, only one national host went straight to the scene, Mike Gallagher.
I'm standing right now on the corner of Orange Avenue and Pennsylvania Street, about a block away from Pulse nightclub, where this carnage, this terror attack, this assault on the homeland took place early Sunday morning.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekday mornings at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on AM 1070. The Answer.
Okay, we're coming back to you. This is Rob Paiva. I'm your host for Lone Star Vets here on AM 1070 The Answer. It's the Power Hour for Veterans Communications, our community. We're all about inspiration, motivation, and empowering of our veterans in the local and national community. Now, I've have a special guest this week. It's Bart Lamont. And if you're listening in the previous segment, we kind of got rushed and cut off, and due to we have to make sure that our wonderful sponsors and advertisers get their moment in the sun. So, but Bart, you're still with me, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
right
good
here.
deal. So we were talking about this bold initiative you took while you were deployed in Afghanistan, just to kind of reset the stage for everyone listening in. And obviously, you had a former teammate or that had received correspondence, gave you great hope. You're like, I'm going to write this letter to our 41st president of the United States, 43rd president of the United States. And what did you say to him?
Just honestly, a thank you.
Okay.
I can't imagine the amount of decisions you've had to make, but ones like this where men are going into harm's way, it meant a lot to me that a man of faith and a man of principle came to those decisions.
Yeah, absolutely, because that is not an easy decision, putting your American citizenships into harm's way. But we aren't all a volunteer force, so we do this with both feet committed, if you will. Okay, so did President Bush write you back?
He did not. But a young lady on his staff who handles a lot of the military affairs did.
Okay, well, let's hear about this. I understand there's a tale to be told.
So we connected, just very, very professionally, of course. She said, Lieutenant Lamont, it would be, our privilege to respond there. Could you please give me I was smart not sending the exact photo, because then I had to have something for her to follow up with. So that was my bait, and then I lured her in a little bit later there.
Wait a second. So, are you saying that there was some following romance from this initial correspondence?
There most certainly was. About 6 months, in the 21st century we live in, of all the technology in the world, we had an old school kind of courting relationships of 6 months of pen pal, getting to know each other.
Well, I'll be darned. Where's this young lady at today? Did you guys stay in touch after you came back? Was there a follow-up story? I mean, don't leave us hanging, Bart.
So she's actually out in the living room holding our 15-month-old son. We've been married for about 3 years now. And, I think without going into too much detail, I'd ruin the Hallmark movie coming out in a few years.
Oh, well, okay, so moral of the story, write to the president, find the love of your life.
That's right. Chase your dreams.
I'll be darned. All right, well, why do we need to talk about this silly company then? I mean, this is the story right here for our fine military who may be listening in overseas, and I know we have a couple that have written in. Hey, just write to the president. You're bound to find the love of your life waiting there, or perhaps, something of wonderful that's going to last you a lifetime. That's what we're, it happens to everyone, correct? No,
absolutely.
I'm kidding, Bart. That's an outstanding story, and I'm glad you shared that with us. So that was in 2010. We're in 2016. So you guys are 6 years strong now into this.
So I came home in 2011. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary of meeting for the first time. 3 years of marriage.
I'll be darned. All right. Well, we only got a couple minutes in this very short segment before we have to give the airtime back over to our wonderful sponsors and advertisers. But so let's move forward into Robin. Talk to me about this wonderful idea in this company.
So Robin, high level, is Uber for lawn care. Several years ago when we were thinking about this idea, not many people knew what Uber was. Now suddenly that's really taken off too.
Everybody knows who Uber is now, whether you use them or not. We're all aware of Uber.
Absolutely, household name. But we allow customers to visit the website, download the app, put in their address, and receive an instant quote for weekly or every other week mowing, blowing, and edging of their home.
Now,
and you're a customer, I understand, Rob.
I am a customer. You guys sold me. It just made sense. And I'll tell you what, I mean, the idea when we were talking about it was still a little over my head. I was trying to wrap my arms around it. But once I went to the website, and the website, I got to tell you, I don't know, it's very clear, concise, and get straight to the point. You guys don't inundate with a lot of content, but it's easy to understand, and more importantly, it's even easier to use. That's what I really like about this.
Well, thank you. That I wish I could take more of that credit, but I'll say just in terms of getting the business started and everything, the key there is to find good partners in anything you do in life. But obviously in business, you want to work with the best.
Yeah. So you're a co-founder, and so when did Robin get kicked off? And we only got about 20 seconds, but just real quick, when did you guys get this thing started?
So we all got together in the fall of 2014 with the goal of starting to mow lawns by spring of 15. So we're just in our second year of mowing season.
Got it. Okay, well, we're going to have to take a small break, but there's obviously a big story here that I want to uncover. So when we come back from this next break, please, everyone stay tuned. Let's hear about how Bart and his partners got Robin off, and it's this wonderful Uber for lawn care. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Sam Malone for Ability Tree Experts. The best. Louis Flory, great friend of mine, licensed arborist, third generation in the family, over 30 years taking care of trees. That's what they do. Ability Tree Experts, they make sure your trees are properly pruned, make sure the upper canopy is cleaned out. They also make sure that there's no insect or disease problems on your trees because they are valuable. They're beautiful, very expensive to replace. And a tree can be in distress for several months. You'd never know. But you know what? Louis knows. Call 281-441-4179. That's the number I call. I'm a customer. Or go online. Ability Tree Experts website is abilitytrees.com. You get a free feeding with every tree pruned. And you know what? You never know when the next storm's going to hit. So get those trees professionally pruned by Ability Tree Experts, Houston's leading tree care professional. Online, abilitytrees.com. abilitytrees.com.
Hi, this is Rob Paiva. I'm a Navy veteran and the program director for Lone Star Veterans Association. Join me Sunday nights at 6 p.m. on AM 1070 The Answer for Lone Star Vets. On Lone Star Vets, we will take your calls live and interview successful veterans to help you successfully transition to civilian life. That's Lone Star Vets, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. right here on AM 1070 The Answer and online on am1070theanswer.com or on your favorite mobile device.
The only place to buy a mattress and sleep great tonight is Gallery Furniture, home of a tremendous selection of Macapedic and Tempur-Pedic sleep sets. The only place to buy a mattress is Gallery Furniture. Why? Pick the winning party of the presidential election November 2016. If your party wins, you buy a mattress $2,000 or higher at Gallery Furniture right now. Your mattress purchase is free. Your Macapedic or Tempur-Pedic mattress $2,000 or better. If you pick the winning party, is free. Only place to buy a mattress and sleep great tonight. Gallery delivers today.
FN handguns bear the DNA of legends, of John Browning, the father of modern firearms, of the artisans and craftsmen who brought his genius to life, of the brave souls who defended our freedom on the front lines for the last 100 years, and the brave souls who defend it on the home front today. FN handguns, the DNA of legends in the palm of your hand. Ask for FN, the world's most battle-proven firearms.
Democrats in Washington are fighting for a new drug test. What kind of drug test? A drug test that would apply only to rich people. A good idea? We'll talk about it next time on the MedVed Show. And the Department of Homeland Security has come up with a new means to combat Islamo-Nazi terror. How? By banning the word jihad. Why? We'll talk about it Monday on the MedVed Show.
The Michael Medved Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on AM 1070. The Answer.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is your host, Rob Paiva. I'm coming to you with Lone Star Vets, the hour from 6 to 7 every Sunday, where it's by vets, for vets, and we're all about vets. We're about empowering our veteran community. And right now I'm in discussion, if you guys were tuning in the previous segments, with a gentleman out of Dallas, Texas, by the name of Bart Lamont. He's an Air Force veteran. Met his wife through writing a letter to our 43rd president. Who knew these things could happen so wonderful and well? But where we left off is we just started talking about this wonderful company that he's helped to co-found. Bart, let's go right back into this with Robin. Okay, so you and your partner, you got this thing started. Tell us how this thing works.
So, honestly, go to the website, download the app, put in your address, and we will start providing service. We'll give you an instant quote based off all off your property size. You don't need to call anything, you give us a credit or debit card, and we'll bill automatically after the service takes place.
Well, and it is literally that simple. I mean, as one who's using your guys' service, not just once but now twice, because I just moved, and fortunately you were serving the part of Houston where we just moved to. It's incredibly simple, because you almost forget about it after the fact. It's so simple. You don't have to leave a check under the welcome mat or cash, and you don't have to hunt people down if they stop mowing your lawn and figure out what happened and then find a replacement and go through 5 or 6 different companies before you find somebody you like. This takes care of all that.
That's right. With Robin, we truly believe to put your lawn on autopilot. Most of our homeowners, our target customer, where we're solving the biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, Dad still likes to mow,
right?
But he's not always there, and he's he might be deployed, or he might be working, or that might be the 1 hour a week he gets to spend with his children because he's not out mowing.
So, I mean, this is it's. I've got the website up in front of me, and I got to tell you, I don't know if you guys are Silicon Valley based or not, but man, this is a professional, wonderful, very easy to navigate website. The old way versus the way of the future. It points it out very easy. Congratulations, a veteran-owned business. This is
Thank you.
Wishing it all the success, and I know you guys are taking off. Is there more to all of this that our veteran community should be aware of?
There's definitely more, Rob.
Okay.
Thank you for asking there. That's so right now, we're providing service in Dallas, Austin, Houston, and a small market in outside of Miami in South Florida on that side.
Okay.
But one thing we started looking at was the composition of our crews. Where do we solve the biggest problem for a lot of these crews? And by crews, I mean lawn mowing actual companies or individuals who are out mowing lawns.
Okay, yeah. So you're looking for good quality of service.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And honestly, we'll test out a few services that have been referred to us, but if they don't make the cut for Robin, we're not going to stick them around and provide bad service.
Okay. Now,
go ahead.
Yeah. How have you been doing that? I mean, what's been your focus?
So we're out recruiting, off services like Angie's List and Yelp. We can provide great service and have instant, background checks, things like that. We're of the crews with that. But honestly, a lot of our crews, we found out, are veteran-owned businesses. A lot of them have backgrounds, so instantly I knew these guys understand core values and accountability, and they will fulfill on their commitment to complete a job when we ask them to.
Right. So,
go ahead.
Oh no, please go ahead.
So no, that's our number one mission right now from a supply side, looking at that side of the business, is how do we find more veterans? That's our top crews. Every time we work with them, we know we need to find more of them. And
hence why you called on me that 4 or 5 months ago.
Exactly.
You reached out to Lone Star Veterans Association. They sent you straight to me, and you've been in nothing but big trouble since.
Actually, I started at the state level, calling down to Austin, and I said, who should I talk to? And they said, if you want to talk to someone who knows what they're doing, making a difference, call Lone Star. So thank you to you and your team for your great work down there as well. Well,
I'm just one cog in the big spinning wheel of Lone Star. But no, that's wonderful. It's we're out there trying every single day to make sure that the services and opportunities are a positive one, real, and our veterans. And man, we've got a great community. The veteran community is just top notch. I'm more inspired today than ever before by being so involved with the community. So. The opportunity then, I guess, what we're talking about here is that this is a wonderful place for a veteran-owned business, or potentially if a veteran is looking to get into the entrepreneurial world, which I'm not always a big, let's just say I have a tendency to rain on a lot of dreams because I've been so involved in the startup market. I've had a number of companies I've started on my own. And it's not always, it's not always an easy ride. In fact, it's rarely an easy ride. But what you're saying here is there's an opportunity that I kind of want to spotlight. If you're a veteran-owned business and maybe you're looking to grow and expand, or maybe you just need more customers and what have you, or in some aspects. If some of you listening out there, you're thinking of starting a business, this would be a really great way to do so, because then you're going to provide the service. And one of the hardest things, and you and I had talked about this before, one of the hardest things for a brand new business to acquire is customers. So
absolutely,
Robin kind of provides, not kind of, Robin is the pipeline, correct? Because you're getting all these customers that are logging in via their zip codes, and they're looking for services. Here, I'll stop talking. I'll let you take it from there.
Yes, no, thank you. That's we aggregate all of the demand side. We've got hundreds of customers in the Houston area, from League City and Pearland all the way over to Katy and Sugar Land, up into the Woodlands and Conroe.
Oh, fantastic.
So covering the entire area, and we want to work with veteran-owned businesses and even individual veterans who might want to start their own business, or even mow some lawns on the side after work or on the weekend.
Oh, sure. Or those that are in transition that are still waiting, or those that are possibly going to college or taking some kind of certification course or pursuing academia, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And people love it. Our top-ranked crew last summer here in Dallas, actually, was a 17-year-old kid and his 15-year-old brother who were on summer break from high school.
Wow. And that was your top producer.
They were. They ultimately, we averaged out, they made $51 an hour during their actual mowing time. So not a bad summer job for a high school.
No kidding. So just like on the website, on the Lawn Care Pros, if you're looking to partner up, it says, grow your business, earn great money, be your own boss. I mean, it sounds very simple, but you guys have really kind of set that up. Congratulations on finding that formula.
Thank you. That's we offer a great value to these crews who might not be able to find customers as easy. Also, might not be able to collect.
Right.
I mentioned earlier, customers sign up with a credit card or debit card.
Getting paid is very important, isn't it?
We pay every week through direct deposit. So regardless if the customer pays us or not, we pay the crews who are out doing the work in this 105-degree heat.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, we're winding down this last segment. Bart, I got to tell you, I thank you so much for being available and joining me today on Father's Day of all days. Guys, this is a wonderful company. I wish you'd look them up. It's at tryrobin.com. At Robin, they're bringing the 21st century convenience to lawn care, founded by Justin Crandall, your partner, and Bart Lamont, who's joined me here today. Bart, you're welcome back to the show anytime. I'd like you to check in on us every now and then and let us know how you're progressing and how Robin's doing. Would you please do that?
All right. Well, I'd love to, Rob.
All right, Bart, we'll be talking to you soon, brother, and hope we'll be back in a few minutes, folks, and we'll be wrapping up this hour.
Enrollment for the spring semester is on now at First Christian Academy Pearland. If you've been wondering if a Christian education is right for your child, give them a call at 281-412-5182 for a no-obligation meeting and tour. First Christian Academy classes are limited to no more than 15 students, so each child has focused one-on-one time with their teacher. Children having difficulty learning because of the conditions associated with public schools can thrive in the environment First Christian Academy provides, where the focus is on Bible-based education and ethics. There are options for scholarships for grades kindergarten through 12 at First Christian Academy Pearland. Call for your tour and time for spring enrollment today. 281-412-5182. That's 281-412-5182. Or online at 1stchristianacademy.net. Spelled out O-N-E-S-T christianacademy.net.
In 2008, the bear market wiped out 12 years of stock market gains in just 17 months. This time, will you know when to get out? If you're retired or retiring soon and don't have years to make up a major loss, protect yourself now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose Tuesday, June 28th, Katy, Wednesday, June 29th, Pearland, or Thursday, June 30th, Hyatt Place, The Woodlands. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302. Again, 800-994-0302.
It's been called the greatest libertarian show on earth, attended by Donald Trump, Steve Forbes, Glenn Beck, and the most brilliant conservative minds today. It's Freedom Fest, July 13th through the 16th at the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. This year, come hear Senator Rand Paul, author George Gilder, Judge Andrew Napolitano, and more. And don't miss your chance to win $25,000 in prizes organized by Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington. Register now at freedomfest.com and save $100 by using the code SALEM, all caps, at freedomfest.com.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
To the NRA.
The National Rifle Association.
5 million citizens have somehow blatantly just become the enemies of some politicians by exercising our constitutional rights and becoming members of the largest citizen organization in the nation, the NRA. We have somehow scared these politicians to a point where they openly call us their enemy. And these people want support for a future in politics?
What would you change in the Constitution?
I'm going to be pilloried for this. I'd get rid of the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. I just think in the grand scheme of the rights that we have, right of assembly, free speech, I mean, owning a gun does not tally on the same level as those other constitutional rights were given.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
To the NRA.
When people in government start seeing millions of law-abiding Americans as the enemy, do you think that's a warning bell? Supporting the Second Amendment, AM 1070, The Answer.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. We've got a short segment here as we get ready to close out. But before we do, I've had a caller on the line that I want to make sure we get to. And so if let's go ahead and go to the caller that's on the line. Jeff, this is Rob Pipe with Lone Star Vets. How are you doing today?
Great, Rob. It's good to talk to you. Thank you so much for putting me on here.
Certainly, and I appreciate you tuning in. So I understand you've got a question for me in regards to benefits.
I enlisted in the Navy in '72 after I got out of college. Was a Navy pilot. Did my active duty. Separated from the Navy in active. Went back in reserve. Did my reserve duty, and then applied for and got accepted as a retired reserve, and with all the benefits. And that was in March of 1988. And then about 6 years later, I got a letter from a vice admiral in the Navy canceling that retirement and canceling all the benefits that I was entitled to.
Oh, you're kidding.
And since then, go ahead.
No, please continue. I'm just a little shocked.
Yeah. I've talked to some other people, and they just said, well, that's impossible. They can't do this. I used to work with a retired rear admiral in the Navy, and he says, Jeff, they can't do that. This is a legitimate thing. And the Department of Defense decided that was what they're going to do, canceled that retirement, so I don't have any of the benefits of that retirement.
Okay.
With exception of a letter that they said, well, just use this letter instead of your ID card. My retirement didn't involve any pay, didn't involve any commissary privileges, and the PX was only limited to the uniform shop. So I can march in parades, and I can use my ID card as enlisted people or reserve people would do at a base, and that's all I'm asking.
Well,
for.
I'll tell you what, we can help you get this addressed, and what I want you to do is to take down this email address, if you will. It's for my coworker. Her name is Holly Horan over at Lone Star Veterans Association. She's a licensed social worker, master of social work. This is where she helps on our life navigation site, and it's holly@lonestarveterans.org. Shoot her an email. Copy me. Mine is rob@lonestarveterans.org. Let us get on this first thing in the morning. This is something I hope we can turn around into a positive. Now, Jeff, thank you for calling in. And definitely please email us there. Want to get back to you, but the show is about to end.
Will do, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, thank you. All right, folks, Jeff, thanks for calling in for that, because we want to make sure that our veterans are being taken care of at all costs. This is what our organization is here for. We're going to get this addressed. Hopefully we'll come back with a great story for you guys. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Bart Lamont, for joining us today from Robin. Guys, try Robin.com. I'm telling you, it's the easiest lawn care service you'll ever get set up. Thank you for joining me. We'll talk to you next week.
LoneStarVeterans.org. That's LoneStarVeterans.org. Or call us at 281-744-7972. That's 281-744-7972. And join us next week for Lone Star Vets at 6 p.m. right here on AM
$10,000 in